Um, okay, so I'll just start at the start. This is more or less the process that we would go through in sort of starting out with a client and just going from end to end in doing it for a local service business just like yours.
Yep.
Um, and it's sort of criteria that we step through each time for each person and their business to ensure that we've got all the things in play that we need to have in play for you guys to be found at the top of the rankings and
Yep.
local search terms by potential customers. So I'll just run that through for you now. So I'll just go over to this screen here. So one of the first things we do is we actually get people to complete our business profile worksheet. So this is actually an online form that we've
Yep.
created on our website. So you can
Yep.
see someone can just go in and type away.
Yep.
What we're wanting to do here is just sort of take stock from the outset of all the details, all the information on the business, and what it ensures that everything that we put on the website, social media, other accounts and so forth, everything is 100% consistent and accurate in terms of things like phone numbers, emails, the actual business name, and things like that.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because if you, as you'll see in a little bit, if you've got inconsistencies, it actually goes against you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
For Google. So, and it could be as small as using the ampersand in the name or the word and.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
You got to decide. Okay, either's fine, but
Yeah.
you know, decide which
One
one.
or the other. Yeah.
You know, which is my branding, what's on the truck, all that kind of stuff. So it's exactly the same everywhere.
Yeah.
Because Google looks at it and they crawl over all the accounts and websites and whatnot with their little robots, and it looks at it, and if it all matches up, then you get a big tick.
Yeah.
If there's a few that are a bit odd, then it actually goes against you as far as ranking, because they look at it and think, well, we're not sure, is that right? We're not sure, so it actually de-ranks you. So
Yeah. Right.
that's really important just to sort of sit down. So we'd get someone to fill this in online, and it comes out the other end on an email for us. So, you know, we've got the person's name, login name. So if we have to set up an account, let's just pick one login method and password and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Obviously the business name or company name, ABNs and all that sort of thing, type of business you're in for Google purposes. We've got the address here, of course, the area that you service. So in your neck of the woods, you know, how many Ks out will you go to do a job?
Yep.
That kind of thing. Phone number is mentioned. Pardon me. And then all the website information, actual domain or address, business hours. These are all things that we need to have there. Things like accepted payment methods. So do you take credit cards, or is it all just cash, or you know, how do you do it?
Yeah.
That kind of thing, and right down to the, you know, obviously the services that you actually provide, keywords that you want to actually rank for because it's what you do. So we need to make sure that that's on the website and so forth. Bit of a competitor analysis. We'd say to you, okay, give us the names of the top 5 competitors in your area that, you know, we want to go up against, basically. So we can do a little bit of research on them and see what they're up to and what they're doing well and what not so well and so forth. You know, obviously we need to get the logo so it's all nice and neat and it's the correct one. Some of these other points here is just sort of to get more insights of the business. So, you know, the type of customer that you service. So yourself, probably, you know, homeowners, residential type of people.
Yep.
And so forth. And then at the end of that, you would just submit that form. So that would come out to us. So that, what it does, it creates a source of truth. So this is the absolute go-to as far as all business information, and then that should be applied to every single account that you've got on the internet, basically.
Yeah.
So it's a really important thing to do. It quite often it just gets missed, and people don't do it, or they forget to do it, and then you got the inconsistencies, and then it just goes against you over time. So we really want to not have that.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, if you wanted to, just for fun, you were more than welcome to go on our site and borrow and use it. That's fine. You can see the domain up the top here.
Yeah.
Off the website.com / and it's actually in the footer of our website down here where it says profile.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You just jump on and do it. It'll come in. I'll just send it to you.
Yeah.
You can stick it on the wall and just say, right, that's it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's all we know with. It's a really good thing. So, but super important to do.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll jump over to the actual website. So I've had a look at this on my desktop computer, which we're on right now, and also the mobile.
Yeah.
So it actually shows up on the mobile. I've got an iPhone, so it showed up there quite well, looked quite nice, and fitted the screen. So that was a really good thing. So that's all good. But I'll just sort of cover it off here. The key elements of the website, that is something that straight off the bat that we would check and audit to make sure that it's all looking really, really good. So the first thing we want to look at is up the top left here. If you can see where I'm just trying to highlight that, where the domain name is up here. We've got this padlock there, which is what it's called as an SSL certificate.
Yep.
So you've done that, which is awesome. Great work. It's just it's absolutely critical to have that on a website these days, because it tells the customer that, this is secure. So if I put my name and my phone number and whatnot into your contact form, it's looked after.
Yeah, right. Yep.
So as opposed to a site that doesn't do that, and it also signals the same to Google. And it's actually a ranking factor. So sites that have this will be ranked higher than sites that don't. So if you had a look at your top 5 competitors and they don't have it, you're straight away ahead of the game. So it's a small thing, but it's mega important to have it. The other one is the Facebook Pixel that Kirby's probably mentioned. So
I've installed that since.
Yes, I can see here you've got it up as a page view on there, which is really good. Now, what I did notice, it's got this little yellow warning sign here off this little tool that I use. This is the Chrome browser.
Yeah,
it's kind of really helpful. It gives you all these back-end insights. It's actually saying that it's on there 2 times. So
okay.
What's going? It may have been applied 2 times.
I think it might have been applied twice. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can only have it once, because it just confuses Facebook at the end of the day. So it might be worth sort of having a look at that page and saying, okay, where does that sit? Go in and have a look. And then generally, it's just 9 times out of 10, it's a code that you just paste in there.
Yeah.
Via Facebook, and it just signals that off. And
so delete one of the codes.
Yeah, so it should just have a green tick. So if you're using Chrome on your computer, you can actually get this thing called the Facebook Pixel Helper extension. You can just Google it, it'll come up and it'll say, install it, bang, and it's there. And then it's got this little box thing over here, this blue box. And when you go to the site, you just click on it. And
I think I've got that,
it just gives you the info there. So it's really important. So everything else looks pretty good, but just go have a look at that. And that way we can ensure 110% that it's collecting the data that we want and building your lists in the background that you've probably had help setting that up. So really important to get that correct.
Yeah.
Next thing we'd sort of do is look at, this is all nice, some nice photos and so on. From a conversion point of view for a customer, we want to make sure this phone number is what they call a click-to-call, which it is. You can see this little white box up here is popped up on the computer. So if that was on an iPhone, that would say, do you want me to call it? And you can say, you just dial it. So pardon me. So that's really, really great. So it just makes it easy for a customer to just go bang, they can just call you straight off the bat. Or the email here, they can just click that, open an email and send that through to you. So that's all really, really good from that point of view. Just going down to the very bottom here in this footer area, I'll just sort of highlight it where you've got the business name and the year. So want to go change that year to 2019.
Yep.
It just shows that it's current, and again tells Google, yep, this is up to date. We're maintaining the website, so please rank. But one of the big things you need to have in here, particularly for a service-based business, is any licensing information that you have.
Yep.
So I think for you, is it services in New South Wales that look after?
Yeah, it is. Yep. So you need me contractor's license down there.
Yeah. So really important, just so you can just put like an upward slash and just type in, services number, whatever it's called in New South Wales, license number.
Yeah.
In. You can put your ABN in there as well. So it just signifies that, yes, I am qualified and have the license to client customers and also to Google.
Yeah.
So really, really important to have that.
So I actually trade as a company, so I should put me trading as thing.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So you could have, company XYZ, T/as, trading as.
Yeah.
Same. License number, ABN, just format it out so it's nice and neat and it fits in there, and that's all you need to do for that. The other thing that we need to have in there is a link to a privacy page. So I think you had one on here.
Yeah, I did, because
there it is. Yeah.
Because what was I setting up? It was only this week I put that on there. I was doing a Facebook ad, and they needed a privacy policy.
Yes.
So that's what I created that page. I didn't know. To be honest with you, I didn't know where to put it. I was just
That's fair enough. Well, in the footer is the best place.
So where would I hide the page then?
Well, in the back end, you'd go in and create a page called just privacy.
Yep.
As the name, that's fine.
But would you put it? You wouldn't need to have it on the top bar there, then, would you?
No. Let me just give you 1 second. I'll just go to our website, because I know we've got one, so I can better explain it for you. So if we just roll down the bottom here, so you can see down here. So
I'm with you. Yep.
Copyright 2019. So same for you.
Yeah.
And privacy. So you type in the word, and then you highlight that word to link.
Yeah.
To that page. So on ours, if you just click it, bang, there it is.
Yep.
Now, if you're looking for the copy or text, you're welcome to come onto mine and steal it. This copy comes from the Australian government and is part of the Privacy Act.
Yeah, okay.
So this is all 100% correct.
Yeah.
So in terms of what you need to say right through there, and you have to have an option for people to contact you with an email.
Yeah.
Don't need to put that.
I just I think I put it on the group, and Kirby just said to Google it. So I just Googled it, and some site just made it up, and I just copied and pasted it.
Yeah. So it's important you say certain things. So that we actually took this from the Australian government website, and there's this other website which is oaic.gov.au. So it says all the right things, basically. So it's from a compliance point of view, you need to have it. And also, again, if you're collecting people's information on a form, you need to tell them how you handle it, what you do with it, that you don't share it with other people. If people have a problem with you, great, you can just delete it. So it's really important to have that there. Again, it's a small thing, but it's really, really important to have it. So,
no, definitely.
Because, again, Google look at it and they say, well, what's he doing, and make sure you got that there. But they're the main things just on there. Other than that, it looks all pretty okay as far as the features and so forth. So I had a look at their request a booking, so that goes to that booking service you're talking about.
Yeah, that links to my job management software. So that goes to ServiceMate. So that pops up in the inbox, and I can convert that into a job straight away, so I don't have to data fill on the other end.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great. Yeah, we try to implement that with so the pest controllers I was mentioning. We're trying to do the exact same thing for them, that someone could get on any time of the day.
Yeah, it just
good job. You can ring them up and confirm it. Done.
Yeah, exactly. Or email them back or whatever. Yeah.
So that's fantastic, and that's great where you got it, because it's right at the top. They land on the page. They can say, "Bang!"
That's what they would. That's pretty much what they're there for. They're there to to contact me. So that's the way I look at it. You want all that stuff.
Yeah.
For what I do.
Yeah, so that's fantastic. That's really, really good stuff. I like that. So as far as the back end side of things, I mentioned before something called on-page SEO. So there's ways in the back end of a website to optimize each page. So the title of the page and the description of the page and the keyword that we're trying to rank for is all taken care of.
Yep.
So that then filters back to Google. So when Google grabs those pages and puts it in their library, so to speak, for search results, it presents nicely. So when a customer finds you in Google, they read it and think, oh yeah, he looks like he knows what he's doing. I'm going to give him a buzz. So really important to do that. So we're not in the back end now, but I can just show you what I mean. I've just done a Google search on the business here, so hopefully you can see that, and we can just roll down a bit and we can see some pages that are registered in the library. So this one here is obviously the home or landing page.
Yeah.
So that's the name of it, which is fine. That's great. You could add something to it with sort of an upstroke. It just says, home maintenance, Northern Rivers or Lismore, whatever you're targeting, because it's a keyword that someone might type in.
Yep.
This description, we've got obviously the web address. This description here is really important because that's what the conversion is all about. So someone would hit this and then they would read that.
Yeah.
And say, okay, well, yeah, he does that. Yeah, he does that. Okay, well, that looks good. And that prompts them to either go, yep, I'm going to click it and go visit him, or they just jump away. So it actually has a length maximum. So you can see here it's got those 3 dots over it. Yep. So the description in the back end is a little bit too long. You want to keep it at 67 characters. So hopefully in the back end of the website on Wix, there's a tool that helps you lay that out, which we can certainly have a look at it later. That's fine, but it just needs to be written really nicely. So just to read it and say, well, yeah, he definitely does what I'm looking for. I'm going to click it.
Yeah.
This is where it all happens. I think there was another. You can see some other listings you've got there, Facebook and so forth. That's the only one that's showing up at present. I thought there was another page there, but it doesn't appear to be. So basically the benefit of doing all that on every single page on the website is that shortly over time, you'll start seeing more of your pages on here.
Yeah. So would you have the same thing on each page, or would you target different stuff for each page?
No, the description's got to be different, and the title's got to be different on every page.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yep.
So contact page, you'd have contact / and then North Coast Business Building and Maintenance.
Yeah.
About would be about / business name.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Privacy / business name. And then so the benefit is we want to get all those pages ranking in this search result. If someone types that in, or similar, we need more pages on this search results page, as it's known. So
and is that just updating the content in the back end of it to make it Google friendly kind of thing?
More or less, yeah. So we want to make sure the names of the pages are correct.
Yep.
This little description here, it's called a meta description.
Yeah.
We want to make sure.
I did go through, that was some of the thing I've been working on over the last few weeks was, like the Wix had like a little checklist and I had to go through and change all of those to do that. Yeah. But obviously they haven't come through yet.
Yeah, and it does take a little bit of time. Now, as I'll get into later, there is a way to speed it up as well and sort of manually say, hey, Google, put your hand up. We've got these pages. Can you please register them and put them in your library and start showing them to people?
So what would happen if I changed the description regularly? Would that affect it? Or
you don't really need to. You kind of just need to decide on, okay, what do I want to say about this page?
Yep.
Okay, what is it going to be? Type it in and then it's done, unless something changes down the track.
Yeah.
Just leave it. It's fine.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. And, Google will look at it and say, well, yeah, that all makes sense. He's got his keywords. So I would be guessing one of the top keywords would be this building maintenance, which is highlighted there. Secondary to that could be Northern New South Wales or Northern Rivers.
Yep.
For the region, or even if you say, look, no, we're just targeting Lismore, great, then make Lismore one of the keywords.
Yeah.
If there's a way in the back end to do that, then that's great. So in WordPress, there's version of this. There's a lot of tools. There's a tool called Yoast, which does all this for you. So you can literally go in, type in your description, and it actually tells you, gives you a green tick or a red tick if it's bad.
No, that's exactly what Wix does. Wix,
great.
Yeah. No, that's it. Because I had to play around with it a bit to make it work.
Yeah. Okay.
To get that green tick. So
you choose the keyword. So you might say, okay, building and maintenance is going to be the keyword. Throw that in, write your description around that, and just make sure you get all the ticks and all that sort of thing. So that's really, really important. And then over time, we will register. So but it's one of those things that people just, they build a website, they don't do these things.
Yeah.
And then they sort of wonder why is it not showing up?
Well, as I said to you yesterday, I wasn't aware of it. To be honest with you, I probably started that 12 months ago to get all those green ticks, and then it slipped my mind, and it wasn't until the local search guy came and then he made me aware of it, and I was like, better get all that sorted. So yeah.
At least so that's a good start.
Yeah. But to be honest with you, as I said, I'm stumped. It's not my forte, if you know what I mean.
Fair enough. Yeah, it does take a bit of learning, and you're on the job doing work, so it's hard to be building decks and maintenance and doing websites at the same time. So
exactly, yeah. It's totally different.
That's exactly right. Different tools.
Yeah.
So there's some really important things there. So does that all make sense so far?
Yeah. No, it does. Yeah.
So this is recorded. So I'll share that with you. You're completely welcome to steal it and do whatever. So that's all good. So one of the next things I did, I mentioned I run a site audit using a tool called SEMrush.
Yeah.
They have a free version. The paid version is really, really good, but it's a bit dear. But if you wanted to, you can buy it. And it just does an audit of the website and tells us the good, the bad, the ugly, and then you can say, well, any issues, I can go in and fix that up. So it's a really good tool. I love it. I've been using it for years. So I'll just show you that. So we ran this yesterday. So basically, you just put the domain name in and say, right, go through it, top to bottom. It gets all the information off Google and off the website and gives you this health check report.
Yeah.
So hopefully you can see that
there.
So currently at the moment, you're at 86% as far as a health check score, which is not bad. Obviously, we want that to be in the mid-90s. You're never going to be 100% because this is very nitpicky.
Yeah.
But if you're sort of 94, 95, then you're all over it. You've got it sorted. So we could see there in the red there's some errors and then there's some warnings and so on that are not so bad, but still should be looked at. I can share this with you too, so you can just grab it. So the errors or issues, they're definites to fix. So some of them, it's saying 7 pages have duplicate meta descriptions, which were those things we were looking at. And as I mentioned, you don't want to be copying and paste them. They should all be completely different.
Yeah, right, okay, yeah.
Otherwise, Google says, well, I don't know, you're trying to tell me this, but it's all these pages say that. So, right. The good thing about it, it gives us this list. It says, okay, well, here's the pages. So you can go in there and just fix them up and clean them up. And then we could rerun this report and say, well, it's all sorted now. Give us a score, and I could tell you straight away, if you just did that, you'd be in the 90s straight away, which is great.
Yeah, all right.
That's really, really important. Some of the warnings, there's sort of minor things, like some pages have a low word count. So Google likes to see a lot of words on the pages. Sometimes that's not always doable. Uh, but as long as the words on the pages really explain what it's all about and have all the right stuff in there, then you're okay.
Yeah.
So it's not a major concern. That's why it's only a warning. But as far as the technical things here, like this crawlability, 100% means Google can get through it, no problem. Great. The performance looks really, really good. All this other techie stuff here is really, really good. So it's actually not bad.
Yeah.
It's just this little thing, those meta descriptions. If you fix that up, you'd be nailing it. So
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
really, really important. So the next thing I've got is the speed of the website. So Michael Core mentioned this yesterday. So again, that's a ranking factor, but it comes down to a customer's experience. So if they're looking your site up on their iPhone, which 99% of people are, it just needs to load really, really quick. Otherwise, people just get impatient and then they just jump off and go and look for somebody else. So we want to avoid that. So I ran the speed report yesterday. This is a tool called GT Metrics. Again, free tool. Anyone can use it. You just throw the domain name in, and it just runs through and gives you all the information, which is really, really good. So from a score perspective, it's 87. Again, we want that in the 90s.
Yeah.
It's not bad though. But then we've got this YLO score, which is a D grade, which is not good. So it gives you the information here and tells you what is the issue. So under the YLO, these are all sort of technical back-end pieces. They're a little bit more advanced, but completely fixable to help speed it up. So you can go into the back end of the site and fix these things. You might need some help with it because some of them are a bit techy to complete, but it's good to know. So if you can get someone to help you with it and say, well, I need to sort this stuff out, I need a CDN fixed up on there, well, that's totally doable. We can get that plugged in for you and that will make it a rocket ship. So really important. The big thing to look at is this average time load here. So it's saying it's taking about 21 seconds to load, which is a real worry. It shouldn't be over 2.5 to 3 seconds.
Yeah, wow, yeah. So that's way too long.
So we need to find out, okay, what's going on?
Yeah.
Well, we know what's going on. It's this stuff here. So there's ways to fix this. Wix may actually have a plugin or a feature that can fix this stuff. So this, for example, this minified JavaScript, which is quite a common issue. They might have a tool that you can just plug in and it just puts all that stuff at the bottom, which makes it go quick. The CDN, they might have that. If not, there's a website called Cloudflare, which you can set up a free account on and it actually steps you through the process of putting it together. It's actually not too difficult. And within sort of 2 hours, it's up and running, and it'll turn the thing into a rocket ship. It's amazing how it works. Really important to do. So, this stuff is definitely at the top of the list in terms of getting it fixed. Otherwise, people will just get sick of it. They'll just jump off. So we don't want that happening, obviously. So, so just good to know. Okay. So, what's this computer doing there? It's deciding to do that. All right. So the next thing is the mobile friendly test. So one of the best ways to do that is just get your phone out and look up the website, and you can see straight away, does it fit the screen? Can I click it with my finger and access, the phone number, or go through the menu over here? This little 1, 2, 3. Hamburger pack, they call it, on the screen there, and just make sure everything's functional on an iPhone or whatever phone you've got. So, and next you can run this Google mobile friendly test. So you just throw the domain in up here and it'll give you the answer. So they're saying the page is mobile friendly, which is great. That's exactly what we want. They've got a few issues there, but they just seem to be, I'm not even really sure. It looks like some sort of tracking error there, but I wouldn't even worry about it really. So, if you get the green tick here and it looks good on your phone, then
Yeah.
you know it's good. But it's just, again, it's one of those things people don't concentrate on, but you must in this day and age. Every single person's got a phone and they're all looking at it all
Well,
day.
the local search guy said in the next couple of years, what will happen is the keywords and that will be different because people are using Siri to search stuff. So instead of having a keyword of building maintenance, Lismore, people will search for best building maintenance in Lismore or something like that, because it's Siri. So
Yeah, which is true. It's called voice search. So, you can hit Siri and go, best local da 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 or whatever, or even on the Google browser app, you can just hit the microphone and do it on. You can even do it on some computers, and it just gives you an answer. So you got to sort of think, okay, if I'm a customer, what would I say? And start having those things on. So it's quite conversational in terms of the wording on the page. Obviously, you need a heading up the top, but in terms of what's after that, it should be sort of conversational and not sort of too businessy. Otherwise, people don't talk like that, so it's just not gonna come up. So really important stuff. So the next test we do, this is all a bit technical, but it is really, really important. So it's called a structured data test. So this is a Google test. Again, you just throw your domain in and it'll give you an answer. Pardon me. It's also known as schema or schema data. So what it is, in short, is a whole bunch of code that is placed on a web page, so like a contact page. And it's coded in a way to say, this is the name of the business, this is the address, this is the phone number, these are our business hours and all of that thing. So the reason is Google looks at this and they just read the code and then they say, yep, we understand it. And then they start ranking it and showing it on their Google results. And it's just really important that websites have this. There might be multiple entries on the website as well in the back end. Now, some website builders will automatically just do this for you, which is great. So it'd be worth having a look at Wix if that's something they have there. And again, websites that do this rank much higher than websites that don't. So at present, I'm not seeing anything on there. It's got a few for some pictures that you've got on there. So I've got the stair repairs picture, gazebo roof picture, deck construction picture.
So that's obviously the pictures I've been uploading.
So it's picked those up, and that's fine. But the most important one is all the business contact information. So it says, okay, Google, this is a website. This is the name of it. This is what we do. This is where we live. These are the hours, phone numbers, blah, blah, blah. Please
so
go.
Should all that text be green? Word to word? Is that saying that it's wrong? Or
the red is to a degree. It's not quite right. I can, funnily enough, read this stuff, would you believe? So we can see here's the title. That's the actual title of the website, which is great. That's fine. I've got a bit of a meta description there. On the front, on the homepage there, so specialising in building maintenance, blah, blah, blah.
So if you were going to change this, how would you change it? How would you update that?
Generally, it's in the back of the website. So we'd need to go into the Wix dashboard, I suppose, and have a look if they have that option. Again, on WordPress sites, they definitely do. And some of them just do it automatically, which makes your life so much easier. And it just spits it out, and you can then just go and check and say, yep, that's exactly correct, or whoops, I'm missing that. Okay, I'll go update it. So
so how do you change it on a WordPress site then?
Some of them. So some of the templates that we use, for example, even on our own, is it actually, you switch it on to automatically pick that up. So it sort of goes through and says, yep, well, they've included all that there. We'll convert it into this language and show it to Google in that manner. So it's all very technical and a bit nerdy, but
Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
it's just one of these things. This gives you the edge over everyone else.
Yeah.
It really does. So if you've got a platform that virtually
yeah, at least I know what it is now, and I can probably work it out.
And they might have a help portal on there. You can just type in schema, SCHEMA, or schema data. I mean, you can Google it and find out more even.
What is it? SCH?
EMA, schema.
Data, yeah.
And you just go have a look at that and see, get some help on, okay, well, how do I ensure that I do that correctly? It's one of these little scientific tricks that it really works and makes a difference. And, again, sites that do it, they're miles in front of everyone else. So one of those things, I suppose. So I guess that's kind of it in a nutshell for the website side of things. So the site as it is pretty good. So it's not bad. It's looking pretty good. You've done a really good job on it. So that's great. It's just some little things to tweak up and just makes it a bit better for customers and for yourself. So. So the next load of things I just wanted to show you is all about local area marketing, or local SEO as it's sometimes known. So there's a series of things you need to do to optimize that to get the results. So at the end of the day, when we go to this page here in Google, you guys own at least the top half of it. So just if there's any ads there, ignore that.
Yeah.
You guys want to be seen in here one way or the other, be it Facebook or True Local, whatever, it doesn't matter. As long as you're there, you've got a far better chance of getting a phone call over the other guy. So one of the first things we look at is what they call citations or online listings. So True Local, Yellow Pages, White Pages, Google itself is a big one. So yesterday and last night we sort of ran a report, so it goes right over Google and just gets all the information you can possibly need to get, and then gives us the answer at the end. Again, I'm happy to give this all to you in a PDF, and you can just print it out or just keep it on the computer and use it over time, or get help doing it. So one of the things we do, one of the first things we do for a local customer like that is we do these listings straight off the bat, because it takes so long to do and just to bed down. It's not instant. Some are, and some just take a time because people at the other end are actually verifying it. So I'll just quickly show you there. So basically you just put in the website and it says, okay, well, we're going to go through the top critical ones and see if you've got them. So at the moment, saying you've got sort of 9 out of the top 31. There's about 35 really that you should be on. Now, the reason for doing this is obviously more visibility. So if we go back to
and then the phone numbers.
If we go back here, so we can see you got a few things with this. True Local, One Flare, that's a good one. Where is, that's a map, but that's fine. That's no dramas. So the reason why you want these, some of these have...
And my names and that aren't consistent.
So we'll just jump straight to that. So basically it's listed out this whole list here, so there's 30 odd of them there.
Can I download this, or is this...
I'll give it to you in a PDF.
Can you check it yourself or not?
You can. Well, this is a tool called Bright Local. And they have a 14-day trial, which is we've used for this particular one. I've set it up for you. You can and then it's paid after that. But in the 14 days, you can do everything you need to do. It's really good.
It's interesting though, as you said, all the phone numbers and the business names, how they did, like the end, how it's sort of red flag.
So this is why we do this business profile thing over here.
So it's all consistent.
We need to make sure. So you can see, A, I've got the listing, and then B, okay, is it right with the business name, the address, the phone number? They can see straight away on here on your Facebook page the address is inconsistent. You don't have number 7 there.
Yeah, and the phone number.
The phone number is not formatted correctly, as in 0499. It's got this plus thing there, and it's all a bit out of whack. It's a bit weird. It's got that alert. So NAP is name, address, phone number.
Yeah.
That's how it works. You've got to have all this stuff in there.
Mm.
The reason why we want these certain listings is because it signals to Google a high sense of trust. So if you have the Google, which is this one, Google My List Business, which you do have, which is awesome, a Facebook page, let's refresh that. Here's your computer's a bit slow. I'm just not logged in, but you've got your business page. That's great. If what it tells Google, and LinkedIn is another one. So if you have those, it's a 10 out of 10 score. So if you're on there, it's all up to date and correct. It signals to Google, yep, we're here, we've got these, and they actually get information from them. And again, it helps with your ranking.
Yeah.
In when people are searching and typing in various things. So we always say, look, you must have that Google My Business. You've got to have a Facebook business page. You've got to have a LinkedIn company page. All pretty easy to set up.
You go through and set them all up, couldn't you?
You do. So as far as this list is concerned, there's a few things we need to look at. So the consistency. So here's the true local listing. We've got the word and, not the ampersand.
Yep.
It says, well, that's not right.
The address. Yep.
Not quite right. And all these others here. So these are all free. These are all completely free. You can just set up an account with them and just go, all right, well, log in. Or you can pay someone else to do what we do, because it does take time.
Oh, it does. I only done the Yelp one during the week, actually.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So
it's
it takes a bit of time, but
it does. Yeah. But
you just got. It's so important. So what happens is, over time, next thing you know, it's like, oh my god, we own the first page. Either way, we're here. Someone if they want to click that, great. Who cares? As long as they click it. And it's all correct as far as the formatting. There's a whole bunch of other ones here, like Aussie Web. That's a really big one. Silex, that's another really big one. Some of these you probably haven't even heard of.
No, I haven't heard of them. Yeah.
But as far as Google's concerned,
they're big. Yeah.
This is actually where they check and verify businesses.
Yeah. Well, the Yelp one, I'm reading a book, and it's an American book, and Yelp is massive in the States, and I'd never heard of it. So I just Googled it and then just entered my details into it.
Yeah.
I thought it wouldn't hurt doing it.
Yeah, and so there's an Australian version, you can just go in there and set it up as a business owner and put all the info in there and whatnot, and some pictures and all that kind of stuff. And it just over time, it just builds up. You got yellow pages here. And again, that's just an online basic listing for free. You just go through and set it all up, and they'll put it up there for you. That's a massive one. That's obviously huge. Everyone knows it. So, Start Locals, another really good one we want to fix up. So it's just, from a local perspective, you've got to have all these in play to work. From our experience, we've done this, and it just absolutely works gangbusters.
Yeah,
really, really important to do. So I'll share that with you, and you can just, if you've got the time, you can start chipping through them.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
If you don't have the access, you can claim listings like in True Local. If you don't have a login there, and you can get in and sort it out. And as long as you put all the right stuff in there, they'll just approve it. So it's pretty good. So that's the big one. Next in line, which is equally as important, is this Google My Business listing. So that's this box thing here. So it goes through and it tells us, okay, this is the information. This actually got siphoned off Google by this software. So it gets all this, the category, property maintenance. So it's really important to have that chosen. So that's what's currently listed on there, which is probably the best one.
Yeah.
So again, it says to Google, hey, this is what we do. from a holistic point of view. So straight away we can see you don't actually have your business hours on the listing. Really important to have that. So just go and enter them on from Monday to Friday, and if it's Sunday, Saturday closed, just write that in, that's fine. The photos, we've got one. You really need to have 5 or more photos on this listing to tick the boxes. That's just what Google wants.
That's the Google Street View, that one.
Yeah, so that's fine if you want it. But all I do is say, just put 5 pictures of 5 jobs.
Yeah. So can you have more than 5 photos?
Oh, totally. You can have 20. Yeah, that's as much as you like. That's totally fine. And just build it up over time. Later on, you can add video if you really want to. You can do that. So this NAP comparison. So the NAP is the name, address, phone number. So from our business profile. Whoops, sorry about that.
Inconsistency straight away.
Yeah, computer's doing weird things here. Hopefully you can see that again. Yep. So you can see. Well, I typed in this. And it siphoned it off. Sorry about that. Google, the address, Ethan Place, but then down here, the Google listing, not quite right. It doesn't have Gunnedah Bar in there, so we just want to go and update it. It's real simple stuff. So you just go into this google.com/business to access this account.
Yeah.
So go ahead and straight away put in your hours, just enter them all in. The address, make sure that's correct. You can actually put a bit of an about us kind of blurb in there as well, which is really good. If you've got some pickies of jobs, load them up, chuck them in, and then it'll really bolster this listing and make it look really nice.
Yeah.
And because people see this straight away, and it's just a go-to. It's just a massive go-to. So really important to do. Sorry, I don't know why my computer's doing that. So they're the 2 biggest things. Now, another one which is a bit left of field, and you may or may not know about this, is the Bing search engine, Bing.
Yeah. It's like Google, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's like Google. It's owned by Microsoft, and a lot of people overlook it, but the fact is it's about 20% of the entire world's search.
Yeah, right.
So you need to be there because some people love it. Now, I just did a quick look, and it looks like it's got a bit of a listing, this is called the Bing Places.
Yeah.
And it's actually not too bad. So it's, and if you don't have access to it, you can actually go to Bing Places to search it, and if you can go ahead and claim this listing, and then just complete all the information. If anything's a bit of it, upload some more pictures.
Oh yeah, look, it's got the data from Yelp.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So it's good to go in and so you can see down here. I won't click on it. See that says
and then that's how you claim it. Yeah.
So you click on it and just go through the process. It's quite easy.
Yeah.
They may then send you out a postcard just to verify that it's real, and that'll just come out to Ethan Place. And when you get it,
you go in
numbers, log back in, type it in, bang, you're done. So really important. But there's some search results here. So here's the website. That's great. And there's some other citations, True Local and whatnot. But again, it's another thing that's just forgotten or just unknown. But again, it just gives you the edge because it's a big engine, big search engine to be on. So really, really important to have it. Pardon me. So what do we have next? So next one is your Facebook page. Let me just try and log in to my computer here so I can look at it correctly. Oh, goodness me, 1 second. Facebook's being very annoying now, asking you to put in special codes now because they're going on their big privacy thing these days. They made a big announcement about it the other day. Okay, so I'll just go in. Yes, that's good.
So what about like a Safari listing?
Well, Safari is just a browser
Oh, it's just a browser. Okay.
on a Mac computer, which is
Yep.
what we're on now.
Yep.
Yes, it's not like it's
And what is Yahoo the same? Yahoo's.
uh, that's an old search engine. Yeah. It doesn't tend to work too well these days.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of trouble trying to actually get it to work.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know even if a lot of people use it. I mean, Channel 7 use it. It's quite bizarre, but yeah, I don't really focus a lot of time on it. I'll sort of look at Google number one, Bing number two, and if you're in that neck of the woods, then you're miles in front. So
yeah,
it's really good. So having a look at your Facebook business page. So again, this is the next to the Google listing. This is the number one page you've got to have.
Yeah.
It sends signals to Google to say that you're real. This is who you are, all your information and whatnot. So it looks quite nice. You've got a bunch of services listed in here, which is great. So as we saw before, we need to go into this page and update this phone number here. So it's the 0401, whatever your number is there.
Yep.
Make sure that that's nice and neat. Other than that, it looks pretty good. The hours, I would go in and actually put the hours there. So if it's like 7 to 5 or whatever the hours are, right, go in and enter them. So again, going back to a business profile, what are the hours?
Yeah.
Enter them here, exact same as on here.
Yeah, right.
It all marries up because Google look at it and say, yeah, no, he's saying the same thing. That's fine. So do all that. That all looks quite good. You've got the vanity name there, which is the business name up the top, which is spot on. So that's really, really good. Got the website. That's really good. Got a bunch of posts. So, yeah, I mean, just over time, you can just start sharing jobs you've done as a post. They don't tend to rank overly well these days because with Google, with Facebook, it's either you pay for an ad, or you do a video.
Yeah,
that's how you rank. But people who are following your page, they'll see all this, and that's all great. So it's important to have. You've got the chat box set up here automatically, which is bang on. That's perfect. So it's people love this stuff. They can just jump on and just send you a message straight away off the bat on their phone or whatever they've got. That's really good. Just having a look at the about, which is all the business area. So again, the hours, we want to go in and update that stuff. You've got a bit of an about us blurb in there and this story blurb, which is really, really good. So the page is quite good. It's just a couple of little tweaks. This address here too, you might want to have a look at that.
Yeah.
The number 7 there. So just a few tweaks, but again, consistency and accuracy and ranking power. It's got to be right. So really important. And the other one is a LinkedIn company page. So if you've personally got your own LinkedIn account for yourself personally, you can then go and create a company page.
Yeah.
Again, it's free. It's kind of similar to this. So you could actually pinch this picture and use that and the logo and whatnot, and just set it up and put the about us info and when you started and what you do and all the links and all that stuff on there. So again, the Google, Facebook, and LinkedIn are the top 3 pages to have.
Yeah, right.
Because it just signals to Google, we're real, and it's a 10 out of 10 score. So if you've got that, it's massive. Really, really important to do. So they're the main things from a local area point of view. If you have all that in place, it will pay over time big dividends in terms of how you show up here.
Yeah.
So it may sound like a lot of hard work, but it's...
oh, not really. It's just really, as you said, it's just keeping everything consistent.
Yeah.
And just putting it in the right spots.
Yeah. And you just got to do it, and it just gives you the visibility here. Lots of options for people to click on to pick up the phone and give you a call. And that's the objective of doing this. It's just...
So let's say if we're going to type in like Handyman Lismore, how would you get up like the ranking there? Like if you Google that up the top there, how does that one go?
Let's have a look. They're keywords. So basically, the way to rank for a term or a phrase like that
Yeah.
You got to have those words on your website.
Yep.
So that word Handyman Lismore should be on this page.
Yep. Okay.
And there's a way to just obviously go in there and word that up.
Yep.
And format it in a way that Google will read it.
Yep.
And that's basically the short version of how you do it. So,
yeah. Okay.
So if I've just done a Google search on that, so by just doing that, now this could differ a little bit because where I'm sitting is totally different to where you are. So because Google looks at where you physically are and will give the closest person as a result. So we can see these guys are in this pack, and we want you in this pack.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah.
So on this map with a pin, we absolutely want you in there. That's huge. Just scroll down a bit and see what's coming up.
So would I have to add my pin there? How do I put my pin on that map?
Well, that comes back to the this listing, this Google My Business listing.
Yeah.
So assuming we have all this bang on correct with the street.
My pin's red for some reason, isn't it? The other ones are blue.
Yeah, that's fine as long as you're there.
Yeah.
That's what you want. So you can see, you got sort of McDonald's and Workers Club and stuff like that. So it's, as long as you're there, that's because people actually go onto maps to search for businesses. Would you believe?
Yeah, right.
You just got to have it. So if you go ahead and complete this, so load up a whole stack of photos.
Yeah.
Put the hours on there. Just go check this street address because it's showing up something weird here. This 589J.
Yeah.
It's picking up a lot number or something. It's bizarre, but you just want to make sure it's bang on and it'll just filter through. So over time, you end up in that snack pack where those other guys were.
Yep.
And that's where you want to be.
Yeah, exactly.
At the end of the day. So again, it's just these little tweaks, just to tidy stuff up, really. That's about it. So other things I had to talk about were Google Analytics and the Google Search Console side of things. So again, that's all free. You can just set up an account generally if you have a Gmail account, it's good to have.
Yep. Yeah, I've done all that.
And go in there and do that. And then you attach, so the Google Analytics will give you a code that you can then attach that to the website. So I'm assuming Wix.
I'm pretty sure I've done that, yeah.
Yeah. I can actually test.
I've done that last week, so
let's have a look. So just try and open up this tool here. It's a bit slow. Another little cool extension called Built With that tells you everything on the website. So it's really good. So I can see.
What's it called?
Built With. That's an extension you can get for free on a Chrome browser, and it's got this little BW up here, and you just go to a website and you click it, and then it tells you how the site's built. It's all free. It's really good. So some of this stuff's a bit techy and nerdy, but you can sort of go through it and say, okay, well, what have we got here? Obviously, Wix, it lives over there. You got your SSL, which is cool. So it looks like Wix may set up the Search Console, which was previously known as Webmaster Tools. Be worth. I like to have a separate account that I manage.
Yeah.
So you go to Google Search Console and you put the site in, and then there's a few other steps you need to do to load it up and get it working. Yes, I'm not seeing analytics on here for some reason, but it doesn't mean
I might not have finished it. I can't remember it.
Yeah,
where I got to.
It's just really important to have it because that way you can actually sort of track and measure how this website's going.
Yeah.
And how people operate when they look at it. So you can see, do they sit on there for a little bit and read it, or do they just bail out and jump off?
Yeah. Yeah.
And if so, well, where are they doing that? And then you can sort of go through it and say, okay, well, what have we got here? Obviously, Wix,
Yeah.
and and that analytics will tell you all that.
Yeah.
And then you can say, well, okay, I need to go on here and make a few tweaks to fix that. So it's a really important tool to track, just to measure the performance of the website and just manage, how it's working for people and that sort of stuff. So definitely worth having a look at. And then the Google Search Console, getting that set up. So what you can do on there is you can load up what they call site maps.
Yep.
So I'm not sure if Wix has an area where you can get those links and then you just sort of copy and paste them into Search Console.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it kind of does. So it'd be worth having a look at it. And it says to Google, hey, here's all my pages, here's all the pictures, please load that up in your library. And then they go looking at it and then they do that.
Yeah.
That way you have full control over what's going on. And you can actually link those two accounts together, and over time it'll start in Search Console. It'll actually tell you the exact words and terms that people are typing into Google to find you.
Yeah, wow.
It's pretty awesome. So you can get that, and there might be phrases in there that you think, wow, I never thought of that.
Yeah.
But the first thing you want to do is, okay, I want to download that into a spreadsheet and get the top 10 and put them on my website.
Yeah.
So it goes back to those, well, what are those voice terms people are saying? So go and steal those, put them on the website, and it'll just rank better and better over time because you've got the words on the page. So it's a little bit techie, but if you've got the time to sort of sit down and have a look at it, it's really important to have all those things in place. And it just, again, it's Google, so it tells them all about who you are and what you've got in terms of websites, and again, makes a massive difference. Most people aren't doing it. It's crazy. They have to.
Yeah. Well, how many, like what we were talking about yesterday, how many people would just go get a website and then just put it up there and go, I'm on the web now, and they don't, like, a lot of this back end stuff wouldn't happen. It's probably thousands of sites.
That's right. I mean, I've seen instances, people spending 10, 20 grand and the site looks beautiful.
Yeah.
But it don't rank.
Yeah.
And then they start spending millions of bucks on ads. Like, you rank then.
Yeah.
But if that phone doesn't ring and you don't get a job, well, you're blown your dough.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
It's not good. And something, a little tiny tech thing to mention, in that Search Console, there's an area where you can set up what they call a robots text TXT file. So it might be worth looking in the back end of the Wix service. They might actually automatically do that, which is great because that file is the most important file to have on that service. It tells Google, here's the site. You can go on here and crawl all over it and get all the information so you can rank it on that page.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
And if it's blocked or it's not there, they'll never see it.
Yeah.
It appears to be working because we've got this result at the moment. So that's great. That's awesome. So and also back over here on our SEMrush audit, crawlability 100%. So it looks good. So if it's done it for you, that saves a lot of headaches. It's a bit techie. So they're the main things from a reporting point of view. The Google Analytics and Search Console, really, really important to have that stuff, and you can get all those insights out of it and keywords, what people are typing. So it just gives you such a massive edge if you know that. So definitely worth having a bit of a look at and a bit of a read over.
Yeah.
And the last thing I wanted to cover off is for local area businesses, something that we've done and it works just incredibly well is a content or a blog strategy of doing things.
Oh yeah, this is one of my to-do things. A blog, just starting, just another tab up the top with the blog with
just throw it in,
Yep, and then just stuff like if you go onto my Facebook page, I'll put a little post up about guttering.
Yep.
Just copy and paste, Yep. put a bit of a blog like that, and then
Totally.
yeah,
Yeah. So the benefit of doing all this, again, number one, it creates pages which have keywords that people are looking for on the page.
Yep.
So that means that page will then rank and appear.
So that could be related to if I wanted to target handyman Byron Bay, I could say, hey, done a job up at, I was a handyman at Byron Bay today, blah, blah, blah. Like you just,
Totally.
yeah. So then I can broaden my market, can't I, with the blog?
That's one way of doing it. Yeah. So the title of the blog could be Handyman Byron Bay dash decking, for example, whatever it is.
Yeah.
That you did, doors, whatever. And then you would write a story, throw a couple of pictures in.
Yep.
So the best way to think about it is, what do I write about? Well, what jobs did I do this week? Okay.
Yeah.
List them out. Okay. Well, where was that? I was in Byron. Okay. What do we do? Oh, we did this. Here we got a picture. Yep. Here's a picture. There's your blog.
Yeah.
And at the bottom, you have a call to action that says, something along the lines, if you're interested in, building a deck, contact us on 02 or 04 or email or request a booking. And you can put a link on that there, and just tells people what to do next if they're interested.
Yeah.
In that sort of thing. So over time, what you do is if you say, look, I'm going to do this every fortnight, 3 weeks, whatever. As long as you do it regularly, over time you'll build this massive library of content. You'll have like 50 blog posts, really good stuff. Next thing you know, they all start showing up on here in Google, one way or the other, and you can just dominate the market with that.
Yeah, right.
Because you can guarantee that the other guys are not going to do this ever.
Yeah.
And it's just massive. So in our experience, when we were working with the pest control firm in Brisbane, well, they had 70 branches around Australia. So the tactic was to every fortnight write a blog post about a job they did. So it might be termites or ants, whatever, in a particular suburb in a state, and just tell a story. And this is what we did, and this is how we fixed it. And here's a picture, and here's the call to action if you want to book in. Hit the button, and over time it just went absolutely nuts. People would type in, "Oh, I've got this problem." They'd find that, they'd read it and think, "Wow, these guys know what they're on about." They'd pick up the phone and book it in. And it was producing $4.5 million a year in bookings.
Yeah, wow.
So purely just by doing that, we didn't no ads, just doing that. And even to this day, it's still, the stuff's still showing up, and it's crazy. It's massive. So it's a good strategy, and people like to read about things and see pictures and all that sort of stuff and what you do, and you can target in on particular towns in the region and tell a bit of a local story. It's a really powerful thing. So you got to kind of be disciplined with it too, to say, okay, on Tuesday I'm going to sit down from this time to this time. I'm going to do it uninterrupted, get it done, post it, and then once it's posted on the website, you go up the top here and get the link.
Yep.
And then you would go over to Facebook and go right, and then paste it in there. You might tweak it up, your description, and hopefully it'll pull in the picture.
And
do it there, and then you would do it again on the LinkedIn company page. And then your own personal LinkedIn. So over time, you're just sharing all this really good stuff, and it all just marries up and shows up, and you just own this page. It just gets quite scary over time, but it's a really good strategy to have. So
all right,
definitely worth considering.